Alright, hello, welcome. My name is Jason Welsh, and I would like to introduce you to a toy. It is my iPhone. Okay? And that's not the toy. Actually, the toy I'm introducing here is Touch OSC. It's a graphic user interface that you can build for your iPhone. How does it work? Well, you can assign these little buttons anything from a shortcut key in Photoshop to an Apple script. An Apple script. Okay, let's work off this. I'm an instructor. I have 25 students in the lab. Those 25 students are high school students, so they don't use their best judgment ever. That being said, if I'm off on the other side of the room and I see little Jimmy watch a person fall off a trampoline for an hour, well, actually about 15 minutes is when I step in, I say, well, Jimmy, I don't think it's right that you watch that because it's weird. iPhone. Alright, let me kind of point it at a computer over here. We'll focus the one on the end here, the 12, and I'll launch Firefox. And it doesn't have to be YouTube, it can be anything. Here's Tumblr. I hate this I hate this website. It's the worst thing in the world. There's no aesthetic value whatsoever to it. So, there we go. Wait a minute, let me get this focused. I have to step in frame. There's 12. That correlates with the computer over there. So, girls usually watch Tumblr. Guys watch YouTube. That's how it works. So, little Susie over here is looking at Tumblr for quite some time, and I say, Susie, please stop that. And let me try to get this in at the same interval. I'll step over here. I'm gonna hit this button. Bye-bye, Tumblr. Alright, here's another thing. I like lecturing, and sometimes I don't want to include the computer in the lecturing. So, I have this nifty lock button. This locks all 25 computers in the lab. I also have an unlock feature. Also, you can have as many pages as you want. So in this case, I have page 1 that deals with killing Firefox and locking computers. On this one, I can lock individual computers, not lock all. And I can make as many pages as I want. I can even have Photoshop shortcuts and everything else. So how did I do this? Well, let me show you. Alright, let's get started with what software you're going to need. First off, you're going to need Remote Desktop, okay? And it's got to point to all the computers in your lab. In this case, I have this, okay? Next, you're going to have to need Automator. Automator comes with all of OS Mac. So that's a free application. Next, you're going to need a program called Oscillator. Okay, there's how you spell it over here in the corner. Oscillator. Next, you're going to need an application called Touch OSC. And let me launch that up. Touch OSC Editor. Perfect. And here I can open maybe my interface. And you can see I have a couple different interfaces here. Now, you're also going to need Touch OSC on your iPhone, iPad, or iPod. What you do is start building your interface. Now you can right-click anywhere in this field. Let me just right-click and add a new page. I can right-click and add a button. I'll just make a push button right here in the middle. Okay, that is /3, standing for page 3, push 1. Alright. Then what I can do is sync it with my iPhone. To do that, you have to do this. Okay. First off, in the corner of this Touch OSC, you get this little clock. You click it, and then you can go into the OSC make sure it's enabled for that computer. Next. Let's go back. When you build layouts, which I just did, you click here. So this is the first button you need to push. Actually, that other one, it just states it's communicating with the oscillator. We'll get into that further here in a second. Let's go to Layouts and load that new layout. We'll hit Add, and it says No Hosts Found. Well, over here in the OSC editor, I have to hit Sync. Now, you'll see the new computer show up. You click this, alright, and it says, do you want to overwrite? Yes. Okay, now I can go to that, which is now located in the list, and it's called Classroom. Oops. Okay, and then I can hit Done. Voila, now I have 3 buttons at the top. This third button leads to the little tiny square. Now what? Well, then I can run OSC oscillator. I always kind of make sure I stop sync on this. That way it opens the COM port. Go to OSC oscillator, and I have an input of 8001. Why I did that is the fact that I have a developer version and a real-time version. So now I can develop on 8000 and then launch on 8001. When I press this button on my iPhone, you'll notice way at the bottom something lights up. This one right here. The reason that works is the fact that, as I mentioned before, I have to hit this I, and then at the top I choose who's listening to the command. In this case, it's that computer right here. All because in the actual OSC oscillator have I hit start. That works. Okay, now we build some code. I'm going to use Automator for this. Automator is pretty amazing at making apps, and if I have remote desktop running at the same time, I can do it with a breeze. So let's go Utilities, and let's choose a computer list. Well, let's choose a remote computer, and we'll choose that guy in the corner, 12. This one takes a little while because there's 130 nodes on the system. So you can imagine this was a very painstaking process. Oh, there it is. And now for that one, I'm going to just say, how about empty trash? Okay, and you can have a whole bunch of stuff. I can also do a Unix command. So that's in here somewhere too. If I can't find it, I can type in Unix. There we go. Unix command. We'll call this lock. Well, let's call it kill Firefox. Okay. In the script, what I need to do now is look for the kill command. And to do that, I have it written down. You can find this information on most websites. There's the command for it, kill all Firefox bin. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to put that in Automator. And I'm going to run it under root. Okay, now I'll save this as an app. I'll call it test. And I put this in a directory in my applications on my Mac. Well, now that I wrote the app, I get to launch it using this program. Now I have the launch code for this stuff under parameters. Apple script, I'll make a new one called test. And under test, we'll use this launch application. This is a code for AppleScript. It will launch applications. In this case, my application is called test. I'll close this out, and there it is. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is show you how it works. But first we have to assign it to the button. So here, I want to assign an AppleScript, and the AppleScript is called test. Okay, whenever I hit test, the little button on my iPhone, it should launch a remote desktop or a remote automator. Okay, so if it does not, check your steps. First off, tell application test. Okay, then make sure that the application is somewhere. In this directory, I got mine. Kills under application. It's called test app. If I launch this, what happens? Okay, in fact it worked. Okay, but let's look at why it's not launching here. Here I'm going to hit play, and it works. Okay, last one, I'm going to hit this button again and see which one lights up. In fact, it's this one right here that's launching. That's what's wrong with it. Okay, I'll hit that button again. Bam, there it popped up. And it just emptied the trash. Very cool. So that is Touch OSC, running out of time. I hope you enjoyed the little video. Of course, this is the very small version of what it can do. It's actually got a lot more to it. If you look under parameters, you got key combinations, MIDIs, you can play music, whatever. So, enjoy and have a good one.